For me, I kind of saw this show as a almost like a battle of the violence of the undercity like slum type of life from one side, and then the dream on the other side of Lucy going to the moon and like living her life there because that's her dream, to go there. So yeah, I kind of saw that the whole show was that conflict.
Nyampasu! Hello and welcome to another episode of Jobless Weebs, episode 63.
Mm-hmm.
I'm Marco, the beer from Mexican, and with me today
is Brian. Yeah, hello.
All right, and we're here one more week, Brian.
That's right. Here we go again.
Oh
Yep.
boy, yeah. How was your week?
Yeah, it was a pretty good week for me. I think I had a lot of things work out for me, and then I had a little nap on one of the evenings, so that was really good. Yep. What about you?
What it used to be kind of like a pain in the butt when we were kids, now it's like a luxury.
Exactly. Please give me that one more nap. I just want to rest for a little while.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
My week was good. I've been working hard.
Oh yeah.
And actually, this week I decided to take a break because normally I'm kind of like in, like the channel and working on videos. And
Oh right.
now on the day that I normally edit, which is Saturday, I decided to edit all the videos of that week. And I was like, you know what? I'm just going to take a breather. And I mean, it did help because I had the chance to start for like the 20th time is the rabbit.
Nice. That's really.
I mean,
great to
that's like
hear.
my go-to anime if I just want to relax.
Yep.
So
Yep. Wow.
yeah. Other than that, I've been watching some other shows instead of or besides anime,
Oh yeah.
like a normie.
Oh yikes. Oh,
But it's been good. And recently this week, I finished an anime that we're gonna talk about, and it's one of those exotic ones because it's from Netflix.
Mm-hmm.
So Netflix only caters to those exotic audiences, and it was a really good anime. Okay, so I was like, yeah, don't get me wrong.
Oh yeah, it was
But-
really good, but kind of in the sense that it's really wild. It's over the top, that kind of
Yeah,
type of anime show.
yeah, and the anime is from Studio Trigger, so they do a really good job. The anime
they
is
do.
called Cyberpunk Edgerunner. Is that right?
Oh yes, Edgerunners. Yeah.
And so it was. I mean, kind of like starting from the top. I would give it like an 8.5 because it's not
Okay.
normally the kind of anime that I like. But I was like, you know
Sure.
what? I liked Arcane, and Arcane is based on a video game like League of Legends. So this one is also based in the same world of a video game that it's Cyberpunk 2077.
That's right.
So I was like, you know what? I like that one. So
Yeah.
I will give it a try. And
Yeah, might as well give it a try. And what a wild ride.
I know.
Because Cyberpunk 2077, I kind of know just very surface level stuff. But yeah, just the whole idea of cyborgs and switching out your own body parts to cyborg metal parts is like really crazy and really cool. But yeah, they mix it up really well with the aspects of course, like punk themes and things like that.
yeah, I mean, for those of you who don't know anything about it,
Yeah.
neither like the anime or the video
Or
game.
the game at all.
I mean, you really don't need to know anything about the video game to enjoy Cyberpunk.
Exactly.
But if you want some little background, it's this futuristic dystopia where it's just like a den of bad people and how they can screw it up other bad people, or how can they encourage them to take bad decisions. I mean, and it makes sense because there are no good stories where the characters take good decisions, because that would be boring.
Oh, exactly. And probably even like be good.
Yeah.
So it's boring like that. But yeah, this one is definitely, it's almost like the bad guys versus the bad guys. And
pretty much.
it depends. Yeah, well, it also like depends on, I guess, in the city, what's your goal? What is your aim? But yeah, everyone is willing basically to go under the table and pretty much take what they want.
Yeah. So the anime takes place actually before the video game.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the city is called Night City, and yeah, that's pretty much it. The mechanic of the game is you have a character.
Yeah.
And
V.
It's called B.
V. Okay, yeah.
And kind of like one of the supporting characters, it's Johnny Silverhand, which is Keanu Reeves. Sorry.
Oh yes, Keanu Reeves. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
He's Johnny Silverhand.
Exactly. So he's like the celebrity face of the game Cyberpunk 2077.
And so the mechanic of this game is pretty much you are an outlaw, and you can get upgrades for your body that you can be as human as you want, or you can be as machine as you want. So in the game, you are able to change body parts to your likeness, so you can increase your stats. It's like any other RPG where the more you change or the more weapons you add, you will add to like damage, defense, intelligence. I personally haven't played the game because it's too expensive.
Oh.
So maybe when it's a sale.
Maybe another year or two. Exactly. Yeah. It came out in the past couple of years, so
it did,
it's
and
still pretty like.
And it came out
maybe
really bad. I mean, in a sense of talking that the game was not finished.
Yeah, for the console release.
For both, I think, for the console and the PC.
Okay.
It's just like No Man's Sky. When it came out, similar. It was not complete. So it was, well, not terrible, but it was not as good as everyone was expecting. So it is one of those games that is like, as time goes on, it's just gonna get fixed.
Yeah.
But that's the video game. So.
Oh yes, yeah, exactly.
Let's go back to the anime. So the anime takes place in Night City, and the name of the main character is David, and it's just pretty much to summarize, it's how a teenager took bad decisions because he didn't have any supervision. So it's like bad decisions with bad company makes a good messed up story.
Exactly.
And so David is a high schooler, I believe.
He is, yeah. He goes to Arasaka school or academy, because it's like a prestigious, like upturned nose type of school. And but he's from the slums, basically.
Yeah, the lower class.
Yeah. But he literally just starts out from there. He always feels like he doesn't belong. But he just is sent off on a trajectory of gangs and violence.
Yeah. Cyber drugs.
Like cyber. So like it's a weird thing too, because the cyber parts is kind of like that cyber drug, or it kind of like it puts a strain on your body.
On the organic body.
Yeah, the organic, because the meshing machine in man, it creates all sorts of abnormalities and like different things. And
so like the anime starts, it doesn't even start with him. It starts with pretty much at this point you can call him a cyborg that
Yeah.
that it's on a rampage.
Yep.
And you have a lot of police that is by this part is called the tag force, and they just are trying to put him down, but he's still on a rampage, and that looks really good. Let me tell you that one of the things that I liked about the animation is how they did it, kind of like a in a comic kind of way. Did you ever watch Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse?
Oh, yes, I did. Yep.
You know how like some of the dialogues appear kind of like in 3D, but in the sense of like a comic strip?
That's right. Cyberpunk Edgerunners kind of did a similar thing with the call function.
Yeah.
Is that where? Okay,
yeah, like the call function,
so
or the part where he was kind of like under the influence of the cyber drugs, and
the text would
would just appear, and he's like, "What are you gonna do? Like, are you gonna run?" And like that was a really good way of expressing kind of like some of the emotions, and at the same time making like, hey, you know what? It's like this is still like a video game.
Oh, yes, yeah, because it fills up the whole screen at times. I remember near the end of the show when there's a big choice or like a big climatic scene with David, and then he's on a call with Lucy, and then the text appears huge over the screen, and I'm like, wow, like I'm just gonna like bring the screen a little back because it's so big and in your face. So cool. Because it appears big, but also in that way of like being shaky, or being like it varies with the text and the size. So it's exactly like that, evoking emotions.
Yeah, so that's one of the things that I think that the animation did an excellent job, because it's like, I mean, if it's, animes like Monogatari, where there's like a lot of text, it's like, to some point it's a bit heavy.
Right.
I mean, especially because we're not, it's like Japanese.
Yes, Japanese speakers, or even know like the nuances or the references. But Monogatari is just a very unique one also, because it's...
But in this one, it was just like phrases. It was small phrases. That caused a huge impact and blended really well with what was happening.
It does. Yeah.
And so, anyway, so it's about David. He's in the slums, but he is really smart. But like every smart kid that lives in the slum, like he has pretty much two choices.
Yeah.
Which is like, one of them is like stays in the slums, goes the wrong way, or works his butt to earn like a higher place, to move from the lower class to middle or high class. And kind of like at this point, maybe a lot of people would not get it, but Arasaka, they are the bad guys in the game. And so in here, like, they sponsor schools, they sponsor like some military weapons or equipment. And he's like, you want to live a good life? Then become one executive for Arasaka. But at the same time, it's like, well, Arasaka are also the bad guys. So it's like, it doesn't really matter if you take the wrong choices and get together with that company or end up with Arasaka, because you will either become a lapdog.
Oh, right. Yeah. Or just a means of letting the bad guys like do even worse things.
Yeah,
and stuff,
so it's like,
continue.
Boy, so...
Yeah, I did feel that too, because like they have the power, but they abuse that power in kicking other people under them and stuff, and like telling people they have to be a certain way to be a part of them.
Yeah.
Of course. Yeah. Oh man. Yikes.
Yeah. One of the other things that I liked about like the world building in there
Yeah.
is that at first glance, I mean, it's just because they gave us the side of the story from David point of view. So that's why it looks like
Yeah.
a dystopia. But like
Yeah.
if the story would have been from someone who is, like a child from one of the executives, it's like that's pretty much a utopia. Because
Ooh, yeah.
you have insurance for everything. Like if you get hurt or everything, it's like
Yeah.
you have these levels of insurance, which in some way it's good and most of the ways it's crappy and messed up. But it's like
Yeah.
depends on what level or insurance or
Right.
protection you have. It's how good they're gonna treat you,
Exactly. Yeah.
and that
they
becomes an
have
issue
to.
for him.
That's right. Because they have to follow those rules. There's this one team along with the insurance. There's like a death insurance, and there's like platinum tier and all but a bunch of different tiers. I thought that was a really cool part, but it gets messed up.
Kind of messed up at the same time,
Exactly.
right?
It gets messed up because this trauma team, they come out when like they get like a notification when on someone's death or an accident or something. I think it is on somebody's death because it's like automatic notification. Okay, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah, I think like
because everyone
if
has
they get hurt
chips.
or something.
Yeah,
So yeah,
yeah. Everybody has like implants on the side of their necks for like just general stuff for data for like calls, and they always have like 2 slots on their necks, and so it comes to the breaking point for David and his mother when they're in the car. So Gloria is driving, but then gets caught in a crossfire of 2 gangs, like shooting it out. And it's just, they're just caught in the crossfire, but then I think they get rolled.
yeah. They get upside down.
That's right, yep. And so they totally crash, and David is just kind of hanging there, stuck in his seatbelt, upside down. And he sees his mom outside, and the trauma team comes, but then they're like, oh, they don't have insurance.
Yeah.
They don't have like the right tier or any at all.
Or no priority. It's like,
No
what
priority,
the heck
right.
is wrong
And
with
they're
these
like,
guys?
Let's bounce. And they leave. Oh my gosh, it's so dumb because David is hanging there and he can't get to her. And yeah, it's so messed up. But yeah, like otherwise it is a utopia. Arasaka is super powerful. They could like they have this power to like do this super great help for people. The cyborg aspects are also pretty cool.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that's the draw to cyborg type stories. Alita Battle Angel would be another one.
Oh, right.
Yeah. And so, and this one, they continue to show like how much people disregard the human body in a way.
Yeah, I mean, because that was his break point. Because like, he had a scholarship to be in that school, but in that school he was being bullied because he was poor. So it's like it also
or
makes
from the wrong part of town.
Yeah, so it also makes a lot of sense that he was not feeling adjusted to it because even if he was working hard, he had to meet with the idiots that were just constantly just like being. Being garbage people.
Exactly. Yep.
So it's like he's already in a bad, kind of like emotional situation. So now, add insult to injury, and the fact that the trauma team, and then like the medics, didn't help because it's like, oh, you don't have enough money or you don't have the right protection. And it was like, well, you know what? She's dead, so So here are the options for cremation. Oh yeah, you don't have it. I mean,
Right.
at least that they gave her, like the ashes of her mother in
All right.
in
the urn.
in an urn. It, like it would have been like, oh yeah, here's like a paperback. It's like because.
Right. Well, yeah. The metal. At least they gave it in a metal container. But yeah, that was so terrible because the doctor literally said like that's all I could do for her. So I had to like close her up or whatever.
Yeah, it's like with the money you have, it's like that's all I can do.
Oh my
so it's
gosh,
like, yeah, she could have been saved.
Yeah.
But it's like, no, that's not how healthcare works now. So it's like, wow, that sounds like America.
Yeah.
It's like that's one of the reasons of why, even though I have healthcare, I try not to get sick because.
Exactly. Yeah. Like we can't really afford to go.
And so you also learn after that because he's already feeling down. He goes back home because he also pretty much has no access to his apartment because
right because rent is due and
they're
so that's
behind
closed.
their rent. So
and he has nowhere else to go really.
Yeah, so I mean he breaks into his apartment.
Yep.
And he finds an implant. He finds an implant of
inside of their apartment. Yeah. That's right.
And that was from her mother, and her mother was a paramedic.
The mom.
Which is also kind of weird because, like, okay, she was a paramedic and she didn't have, appropriate healthcare. Is like, what kind of messed up world this is? But okay, Kind of like moving on.
Okay.
She was a paramedic. She had this, and you're like, okay, why did she have that? Mm-hmm. So he goes to like pretty much to an underworld doctor, and he does the most logic thing. He's like, yeah, you know what? Put this implant because this implant is gonna help me. It's gonna boost him up and sure thing. And one of the things that we have to know about this world is like, you can put as many cyber products or body parts as you want, but they come at a price. And it's pretty much the equivalent to, taking substances that your body originally can't take. Mm-hmm. So like poison.
Oh, sure. Yep. And over time, it kind of builds up. And also, it greatly depends on how many implants you have. So it could become too much of a strain.
Yeah. And so in addition to these implants that are like poison, there are some drugs to kind of like relieve the pain. Yeah. But at the same time, like any other drug, if you take it consistently, it will lower is pretty much how it works. Yeah. So it's like, the effectiveness is not going to be as high on the next dose. You're still going to be an addict, and you are slowly going to lose yourself. Because in this world, like we saw in the first episode at the beginning, that's people going on rampage. Yeah. It's because they lost themselves on, drugs, cyber drugs.
Cyber drugs, that's right. And they called that instance when these basically cyborgs go AWOL, they call them cyber psychos.
Oh yeah.
So when that hits, they totally flip and just go on a rampage and like go on a killing spree.
Yeah. But I mean, he with his new implant of his new cyber column, he's super good. He's strong. He's super fast.
Yep.
And that's because that's a military implant.
Yep.
And so
military grade. Oh boy.
Suddenly
it like, I don't know what it is, but it kind of like flips a switch for him, and he just does what he has wanted like this entire time. He first goes to the academy and punches the one
bully.
student. Yeah,
He goes like
what a
old
hit.
Flash, like
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. He. I'm not sure if they ever. Yeah. They called it the Sandy, or like the nickname was the Sandy.
oh yeah,
But the actual name is like the
Scandinavian or something like that, right?
something like that.
That was like the denomination of the column, right? Yeah,
That's right. Yeah.
I kind of remember that.
Yeah. So he initiates it, and then he goes all Flash, and it. I thought the animation on that part was really cool
that part
too.
that was too.
Because every time, like, you see images of him.
Yeah, kind of like frame by frame, right?
Frame by
Like-
frame, yeah. So it's like a still, and it just duplicates over and over. Instead of like a streak or like lines or anything,
Yeah.
it's just literally images. Yeah, I thought that was fantastic that they showed that.
Yeah, and I mean, sadly, that implant was stolen by his mom. So you can also learn like, oh, so the mom was not a saint. She was willing to make some. I mean, to put her hands on the fire just to kind of like avoid having her kid doing that, which kind of like backfired.
Yes, it backfired. Doing it for his sake, so that he can become a better person.
Yeah,
And like be in the corporate side of Arasaka, which is like great. I mean, if you have a nice job,
I guess. Yeah,
stability. But yeah, like we find out Gloria was also mixed
like
up.
smuggling, like parts
Yep.
from cyber psychos,
Yep.
dead cyber psychos.
And directly giving them to this gang.
Yeah, it was pretty much a gang. We also met Lucy before, and we talk a little
yes.
bit about that.
Yeah,
'Cause
we will have to
Lucy
talk about
becomes kind of like his love interest, and she's kind of like also like the driving force for David to continue taking bad decisions.
Oh well,
'Cause,
yes.
I mean,
well, Lucy.
There was already no
she's-
point for him to take good decisions.
Oh
So-
well. Right.
So it was either taking bad or worst decisions.
Sure. Yeah, because he never actually ever wanted to be in the school in the first place.
Right.
So that's also that part of it, is that he didn't want to really have that life for himself, being Arasaka's. I guess like another cog in the works.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
so he gets
Yeah.
acquainted with Maine, and I think that Maine pretty much becomes his father figure.
He does.
I mean, that's the way
does.
that I saw it,
Yeah.
because it's like,
Mentor.
yeah,
he's
he
that
was his mentor.
figure
and
of
he,
authority.
that figure of authority that would point him towards the right direction in the path that he had chosen, because he was like, well, what do you want to do? And he's like, I don't know. Well, you know what, like, while you figure things out, you're gonna do what I'm gonna tell you. It's like,
Right.
and don't worry, I got your back.
Yeah, and if you help us, we'll help you. And he actually has this policy that everyone in the crew gets an even cut,
Yeah.
which I think was one of Maine's greatest charismatic points.
Yeah,
was that he
I
is a
mean,
great
Maine was a
leader.
great character. He
Yeah.
was an excellent leader. It's like,
Oh yes,
yeah,
he
for the wrong
is.
decisions, and from the wrong reasons.
Oh well,
But he was a great written character. He's like, he was
Yeah.
this fatherly figure for everyone. He was messed up, of course, because
Yes.
it's like, yeah, you wouldn't expect a gang member to be like good-hearted.
oh,
But in a
Oh,
way,
no.
in a way, he was good and fair with all the members from his crew.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so he does everything really well. He can like think on the fly to update like plans and stuff. Because I think the first job that David was given basically was, well, after working
With
quote
Lucy.
unquote with Lucy, which was also kind of like a sham. I'm not sure. She was kind of like leading him on at first.
She was.
Which is amazing too, because their relationship evolves from that. But yeah, Maine, he gives this job to David to basically steal a chip from a car, which includes the navigation data of this particular hotshot in the city. But yeah, Maine gives that chance to David, and then things like goes wrong.
Yeah.
Like, it all goes to crap there because the guy becomes aware and he's like, oh crap, you're not gonna take my car. So they have to like steal the car instead, and Maine tries to like help him through that. So yeah, it's great. Lucy though. So as we said, she is the love interest. I think the first introduction of her was so cool. David is like out and about in public and he's like looking around, and then we notice as the audience just like a hint of hair.
Oh yeah.
And that's it. Just a hint of hair, and everything else is like black. And then it like evolves to this girl that we see and David sees. But yeah, I just thought that was so cool. She's kind of like there, but elusive.
Yeah, I thought that relationship was weird, but at the
Yeah.
same time it was.
Well, they start with her kind of like leading him on, not telling him everything.
Yeah.
Because she notices the Sandy that he has it, and that was supposed to be for Maine. So yeah, she knew about that. But yeah, it kind of like goes further.
It evolves because it
Yeah.
goes from her wanting him to, kind of like get away from that life, to like, well, you can't get away from this. Like, at least I'm gonna try to, like protect you in the shadows. Because one of the other key moments for David was when he loses his father figure, which is Maine.
Oh, yes.
Because Maine also goes nuts.
Yep. Total cyber psycho.
And he's like, you know what? Like, this is the end of the line for me.
Ooh, yeah.
Take what you need from me, because they made this promise, like, yeah, you want my super cyber arm?
Oh, yeah.
Take
You
it.
can have them, yeah.
And that was one of
great.
those heartbreaking moments, because like,
It was.
okay, so, but that was one of those turning points, because they had a job on Arasaka.
Mm-hmm.
And it seems that Arasaka, they already know what's happening even in the underworld.
Ooh, yes.
And so
They
like,
have
yeah,
their
you know what?
fingers
Like,
in it.
it's like
Yep.
those rats is like, yeah, let's lead them on. And Arasaka has these other hotshots that are kind of like contractors, you would say.
Yeah.
And these contractors contact Maine or people like him, gangs, to take jobs. It's like, oh yeah,
They-
take on Arasaka,
Yeah.
or take down like the business competitor of Arasaka. Do you remember the name of the business?
Ooh, I remember a couple of other places. They were like Militech.
Militech.
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
one of them.
Yeah, Militech is
Yeah.
the competition. It's like, yeah, either like take on Arasaka, take on Militech, and
Right. And this contact is called a Fixer.
yeah,
But this particular one, his name is Faraday, right?
yeah,
That guy. Yep, Faraday. Yeah. Oh.
yeah, and it,
Man,
like,
what a classic bad guy.
Yeah.
He looks
looks like a bad guy.
He looks like a bad
Yeah,
guy.
he's the
That's
definition
what
of a
you
bad
know.
guy.
Yeah, exactly. Because, yeah, as a fixer,
Because like, yeah, there are bad guys,
Uh-huh.
and then there is this son of a gun.
Yep. And as a fixer, he does exactly that. He gives them jobs, but, like, his eye...
Oh, the
his-
three eyes.
His
The
three
four eyes, basically.
Well, right. The three eyes on one side, and then, yeah, his normal eye on the other side. But, yeah, ooh, so creepy. Like, absolute bad guy, no matter how you look at it. Like, yeah.
Yeah, it's like, you see that character, it's like, yeah, that guy will just like
He'll
I don't
screw
know.
everyone over.
Screw you.
will.
Every chance he gets,
Yeah.
he's gonna stab you on the back, and many other places if he gets the chance.
Yeah.
And he does,
And he
pretty
does.
much.
Yes. Oh, yes.
But it's like
yeah.
David loses his father figure, and that was kind of like a difficult job because they had to kind of like kidnap one of the executives from Arasaka. Then turns out there's like the information that guy had was like was just fake. He was like
it wasn't.
They just
there.
wanted to bring them down. It was like holy crap! It's like these bad guys are bad guys. Like
yeah, because Tanaka, he was the dad of the kid that David Martinez totally sucked
the bully,
in
right?
In the school. So yeah, Tanaka, he didn't have the information, but he actually knew David, and that was the other thing.
He wanted to use David.
The other thing though, because David has this affinity to use the cyber tech, and they wanted to lure him in to basically groom him and like make them their lapdog. Yeah.
Very much.
Oh yeah, exactly. Yeah. And that's a turning point also for Lucy. Because she finds out from the deep dive, Lucy is also a netrunner.
Yeah.
So that
she's kind of like a hacker, right?
Yeah, exactly. She's a hacker, so she can like connect to people directly and like go through their minds with this like neural attachment. So yeah, she does the deep dive and finds out that they have files on David and that they want him to test out like this new tech and stuff. And but yeah, Lucy kind of, she doesn't quite lose heart or like her drive or motivation, I guess. She kind of gets out of the whole gang activity though in order to stop them from getting David.
Yeah.
That's the thing. She was doing something else in that time. But yeah, it is a wild ride because every single time they do the job, things go wrong. And there are a couple of other characters like Rebecca.
She's
really cool.
Nice.
Yep. So she actually goes through most of the entire season. We may have talked about it before, but this show is kind of like Akame Ga Kill. So Akame Ga Kill.
It is.
In this one, almost everyone dies.
Yeah, in Akame Ga Kill, the only one that survived was Akame.
Yep. Akame
and in this one,
survived.
pretty much the only one that survived was
Lucy
and Falcon.
Yep. Oh yeah, Falcon.
But Falcon was the driver, so it was like,
he was the getaway car. Yeah, he was really cool character too. Kind of like, I kind of imagined him as like a bartender, like a barkeep type of character.
Yeah, well, what like,
mustache.
I need info, and he's like,
yeah.
Whoa, we have bourbon today, and he's like,
Yep.
Yeah,
Oh,
one
he's a
of
cool
those guys
character.
to get info, right? Oh boy. But I mean, I don't really want to cover all of it because like,
because
there are lots of things.
Oh yes.
Super complicated, and we're kind of like jumping back and forth.
We are.
But it's like, just this show is about how Lucy had a dream. Her dream was to go to the moon. And pretty much how David made that dream possible. Because that was one of the things, because that was on the very last episode.
Yeah.
And we're ignoring the battle with Adam Smasher.
Oh, yeah.
And
it's a must watch.
Yeah, I don't really want to talk about that because like that's when we lose a lot of more people. We have some betrayals from people like you wouldn't even expect it. It's like
no, and we can't
like,
say names.
You were my homie.
Yeah.
It's like,
oh yeah.
And you just like,
it's like
or betray me like that. It's like it's like I wish you could die a miserable. I mean, ultimately. That character gets it coming. Kind of like vindicates herself or himself. I don't know.
Yes.
But it's like, oh boy, how could you? this is not a happy ending. I mean, and
No.
you wouldn't really expect that kind of anime to have a happy ending.
Oh well, no, because Trigger, they really portrayed the nitty gritty of just the violence and the type of life that comes with that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
and yeah, that, and like it all comes to a head. But yeah, I kind of, for me, I kind of saw this show as a almost like a battle of the violence of the undercity like slum type of life from one side, and then the dream on the other side of Lucy going to the moon and like living her life there because that's her dream, to go there. So yeah, I kind of saw that the whole show was that conflict.
She gets her wish, her dream.
She does. She does at the
It
very
comes
very
true, but it's like
end.
at the cost of like
At what cost?
'cause-
Yeah.
she was kind of like willing to kind of like throw away her dreams to allow David to leave.
She
Because
was.
that's why she was diving. She was in, in the deep in the net.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
like she wanted to delete all of the files that came out from David because
Right.
like he wanted to keep David as as
Oh yeah.
as far away from Arasaka.
Exactly. Yeah. So not only can she deep dive into like people's subconsciousness, she can dive into like the old net. So yeah, she's doing that on the side, and that was a really cool part.
Yeah, because
Oh yeah.
we don't really learn anything about what Arasaka wants, and probably we can learn more about it in the game.
Oh, absolutely.
But in here, like the important thing is like it's how this kid took bad decisions, and when he was so in deep in those bad decisions, he decided to take one kind of like good decision because he was like, you know what, I'm too deep in here. I can't get out. I'm losing myself.
Yeah.
Because he was like
he was going cyber psycho.
Yeah, he was also going that point. It's like
a little slower than most everyone else, but yeah, he was definitely
even though he upgraded himself so much more.
Yep.
Because
beyond.
Because at that point
could handle.
It was pretty much just like a head.
Oh yeah,
just like a head and
maybe a torso, but even that's all like cyber parts,
right?
But yeah, incredible. So yeah, he basically wants Lucy to fulfill her dream, and he tells her practically forget about me and go live your dream. Yeah, Lucy was absolutely willing to give up her dream to like take him out of that. And that's incredible. So even like maybe not even like the conflict going head to head, I would probably even say the conflict was kind of like the springboard for Lucy, or that David was willing to go down for Lucy to go up.
Right.
Or I guess to think about it.
Because ultimately David became a martyr.
He kind of was, wasn't he?
Because he was already like, this is the end of the line for me.
Yeah.
That huge guy.
It. He knew.
There's no way in heck that I'm going to beat him up. But at least if I'm not going to beat him up, I'm going to drag him just enough for the rest of my crew to, get away. Because they already got their cuts. He got his vengeance on the Fixer.
Oh, yes.
And let me say that I've never been more...
Oh, yes.
Well, not happy, but like satisfied. With how that guy ended. It's like...
Yeah, because Faraday...
I would have liked that guy to suffer a little more, but you know what?
A little more? Sure. But oh man. Because Faraday was pretty much the antithesis of David. Well, I say that because Faraday was doing everything that Arasaka was telling him to do, because he wanted a promotion. He wanted to climb the ranks. He was
he wanted to be that guy that pulls the string,
Yeah.
and then he noticed like, oh no, they were pulling my strings.
Yeah.
And that was also so satisfactory because like, there's
justice.
like there's nothing
He got
better
what's
as like
coming.
having your hopes crushed, because it's like
Literally crushed.
here's your money and we're not gonna do anything. It's like, and
Yeah.
if you don't get out of here, we're gonna kill you. He's like, what the heck? I thought I had immunity.
Yeah.
And,
Like I'm gonna get my $1 million, right? Because Euro dollars.
Yeah.
Yeah, Euro dollars.
Euro dollars,
I'm
yeah.
gonna get my $1 million, right? Because I brought Lucy in. Yeah, he deserved it.
he's like,
Sure.
yeah, you screwed up. So it's like,
Yeah.
take your money, but you're nothing in here. It's like,
Yeah,
you are
was
not the
nothing.
hot shot.
Yeah.
And then it's like, oh crap.
Yeah.
Like, David comes in, he's like, I'm in danger.
Yep. Yeah, he definitely was over his head.
Yeah, that's one of the bad guy endings that I think I've been more satisfied with anime lately. Because it's like, I've been waiting for this from this moment. Because like, that guy is like, it's dealing with both sides. So
Yes, and that's the part that really rubs the wrong way. Yeah, because he's that middleman.
yeah, because he's also dealing with the business competitors.
Oh,
So
absolutely. And
that's why he wants to like have it all and kind of like be
Yeah.
more than Arasaka, or it's like,
Yeah.
oh dude, it's like, oh boy, it's like, I'm gonna enjoy so much here.
Yeah.
And it's like,
Yeah.
then the eye is like,
Oh
I'm
yes,
satisfied.
landing right beside him. Oh, that was pretty cool. Yeah. Yep. Oh my gosh.
oh boy, but yeah, that
But
was
yeah, it was amazing.
it was a great story.
Yeah.
So it's like, yeah, you don't need to know anything about the video game.
Mhm.
Not for everyone. So like, if
Mhm.
if you're sensitive to graphic stuff, blood or
gore
or like kind of like sex scenes, is like,
oh sure.
skip it.
Yeah.
But if you don't mind any of those things, it's a great story, and you will see that all of those environmental factors, all the gore, is like, it makes sense in this city, because it's like, this city is not for the saints. It's just like,
Night City. It's like darkness and
yeah, if you're
the
looking for
nightlife.
good people, it's like, that's not the city.
yeah, exactly.
So it's like, yeah, this city is for the bad people, and nothing good comes from Night City. So it's like, oh boy, it's kind of like Vegas 2.0.
But oh my, yeah, kind of like that. Yeah. Oh, so amazing.
Oh boy. I mean, kind of like, to finalize some thoughts, I love the soundtracks.
Ooh, yes.
just like
so great. The beginning,
The background
it's
soundtrack
kicker.
and the opening song.
Yep.
The opening song is Kicker from Franz
Oh,
Ferdinand.
it is. Yeah.
It also blended really good, like rock punk with
Oh
the
yeah.
cyberpunk theme.
Oh yes,
It's
I
like-
thought it worked really
Like,
well.
yeah, I honestly was thinking that they were going to put kind of like some dubstep, kind of like electronic vibes.
They
but at the
did
same-
have.
But at the same time, I was like, you know what? Like, this is more for like rock punk or even metal.
It is. It would be more like that. Yeah, because of the whole cyborg and punk type city life. Yeah, you would see that kind of music. But the music for the battle scenes and stuff, they were pretty heavy, like almost EDM. So yeah, I like dubstep. I love that stuff.
Oh boy, but
So
yeah, it
I
was
wouldn't be
it was
surprised.
super good, and
Yeah.
I mean, it was over.
Yeah.
And it was
so 10 episodes.
Yeah, it was like,
It's a short season, but
Yeah, I
so
guess.
far,
but it's like, yeah, you can tell a story in
yeah,
10 episodes, and because
easily.
sometimes like my complaint is like,
Uh,
well, 12 episodes sometimes are not enough to develop the world. But in this time, it was like, 10 episodes was just right.
It was.
They throw some Easter eggs about the video game, like weapons or places or people that appear on the video game. And they developed this world because it was not kind of like a huge reveal of how Night City works. It was just like, no, we had just the slums, just the gangs.
Yeah.
This is how they deal with even with like the higher ups of Arasaka.
Right. A very focused perspective.
Yeah, it was like this is the background that you need to know from some of the supporting characters. Because you have the story from Lucy, from David, from Maine.
Oh, even him.
And the other ones is like, the other ones, they are there, and they are either a comic relief to make it a little lighter, or like to make some obscene jokes or whatever.
Oh, sure.
But like you don't.
Or to ultimately like enhance David's and the other stories for Lucy and Maine. Yeah. But to enhance David's story. Absolutely.
They make a very dynamic world in there, because it's like they were just always doing something like
living their life.
I could see them. I could see those cyber junkies do that kind of thing.
Oh, sure.
Kind of like you know, like get high or get drunk, whatever. It's like stoned completely and go crazy. And it's like, I can see that.
Oh yeah, I totally agree. Yeah, it just enhances and like really shows what that kind of life is for them.
Really good anime. We recommend it to watch it.
Oh yeah.
By the time this comes out, it's like probably a lot of the commotion for that anime has already lowered down. But
probably.
If you haven't given it a try,
absolutely,
you should give it a try.
Yeah, give it a try for sure. Yeah, right now, at like the point of this recording, I think it's like number 8 in the US for Netflix shows for like streaming. So it's.
I mean, and it's weird for
really
anime
strong
to be on the top. 10 for Netflix.
It's not very often. Yeah, and I mean, I think this one is a great one for sure. Definitely an exotic, or like as you said, or kind of like a very high pace, like high adrenaline type of anime. But really great addition to Netflix. I hope it continues to be really well.
Yeah.
Not sure if we'll get a second season or
I don't think so. Like on the last really episode, you know, like David pretty much kicked the bucket.
Yeah.
And Lucy reached her destination.
Yeah.
And she was kind of like grieving losing David. So it's like, oh boy.
Feeling the sun.
Yeah. It's
like, man. It's
It's like, it seems like it's raining.
Yeah.
Like it's not. No, it is raining.
Yeah. Oh, so great. I love it. And really, really recommended. So good.
Oh boy, but this was all for today. I hope you guys enjoy it.
Yep.
And we'll see you next week.
Yep. See you then.
Keep watching anime.
Yep.